This is Vaughn Clement, and this is an app description walkthrough of the application Reminder and Action Item Pro form version 12. I'm going to use the iPad or iPhone to show you how this works. For example, I'm going to open FMGo, and I'm going to go ahead and type in my username and password. Go ahead and access the app. In the application, the first thing you'll note is that there are icons on a desktop. I'm going to go ahead and start out by showing you the phone list. The phone list is where you would add what is called a value list. What you're doing is you're setting up accounts for individuals and their phone numbers. On this screen, you can also tap the call and make a call from here. The area at the bottom of the screen, down at the bottom, is used to select different clients by tapping the blue arrow. You could change the name and the account. You notice that I just changed it. You can also go back to the main app with the home button, or you can use the find button to go and locate additional people that are off the screen so you don't have to go scrolling down to find them. This works the same in several of these. Let's go back to the main menu. Let's look at the name list, which is also a value list. In the value list here, you can add a photograph, the name, and then there's a select list at the bottom. If you tap on it, it'll change the user to a different user. In this case, I'm back to Mary Jones. Or you can use the find in order to find somebody within the account listing. Let's go back. This time we're going to go look at emails, which again is another value list. This value list has the email and the name. You add each one of those in each one of the blocks. It'll automatically add it to the select list at the bottom, and at the select list, or use the find to locate a client in the app. Going back now, let's take a look at the actual form. The form that's used in the Reminder and Action form listing has all drop-down fields for the most part to make it simple to use. There's a description in there on the first screen. These are sample records. If you want to drop down the name of somebody and pick them from the list, you use the drop-down list. Use the drop-down arrow to either pick the name or drop this out of the way again. Then you can move to a different field, like to send the date, obviously to add the time, to pick another subject for the person that's sending this particular notice. There's also an action from form. That is where you add the person who the action is from, and then the person that should be responding to the action. You notice that I'm repeating using the same fields that I added into the value list. I can also add an email list by clicking on here and picking the email list of the person that is in the value list. If the person's name is already in the value list, I can go ahead and click on the call button to make a call, or the send email button to send an email from here. I can run notes in the lower section down here about this particular form. Then when I'm using the form, I can slide up here and hit the gear thing here, and I can say print, and then send it to a PDF, and I can send that PDF by email. I can view it, or I can save it in the app. I can also change the orientation of it in this screen. And here you would pick, you can send one record, or you can pick a group of records and send them all at one time. You can scale the form to whatever scale you want to put it in. So that helps with a lot of different kinds of printers if you set it up. And this is the print orientation on this screen for how you want to set it up. You can check also the kind of paper you want to print it on. The app also allows you to enter a find mode in this screen, do a quick find. You can sort records, you can omit records. You can also do finds from here. So if I want to do a find and then omit records, I could do it from here. There's also a drop-down or a screen list in here You can pick a name list, and the name list is the name of each one of the clients that you put in there. So let's look at that. There's an action view list that you can scale across. This also can be printed on an 8.5 by 11 page, so you can print using the print I just showed you a few minutes ago. This can also be shown in landscape, and you can scale it down so you can see it better on the screen if you want to, as far as how it's going to fit. There's a meeting portal for meetings. In here you can put date, time, the person's location where you're going to have the meeting, the address, their phone number, the client name, the email address again, and this is also picked from a drop-down list so you don't have to keep on adding it by hand. Once you create it in the value list, it's available to you. You can also do that in the actual form when you're actually adding information in the form. These are all drop-downs. This part right here is a freehand typing, so you can type in information about an action item. In this case, this is the agenda field, and you can go in there and add an action item, and you can add the person for the action item for this meeting agenda. So for this meeting, we're using that action item. There's a number of action items you can put in, as many as you want. If you want to do a search on any of these, as far as in this portal, you click the blue arrow, and the blue arrow takes you to this screen where you can use the Find button to go ahead and find that person and that particular action that you're working on. Clicking next to the name, the arrow will take you back to the original screen. Home button will return you. You can see down at the bottom, this is licensed to the person. If it were you that purchased it, you would show your license number and the person that it's actually licensed to. By adding new records, all you do is hit the plus down at the bottom of the right-hand corner of the screen, or you can walk through records when you're actually in a screen by tapping the arrow. You can go through very quickly through different records. So it's quite simple to use and to learn. To exit the app, you return to the home screen. You tap in the upper left-hand corner the two boxes at the corner at the top. Then tap the red circled icon, and you're back out to the main screen where you can go back to the desktop. Hope you enjoyed this little tour